Hello everybody. Welcome back to the stream. Okay, so while we wait for a few more people to join us. Oop. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to do a continuation of yesterday. Yesterday we had some technical difficulties, although it looks like today we are pretty good to go. Let me pull up the stream on my phone really quick so I can keep an eye on it. I miss the days of having a double screen. I used to have a double screen, but I don't no more. Okay. So let's, we're officially going to start the stream at 6 o'clock my time, so in about 9 minutes. So in that time, I'm going to explain a few things if you guys haven't been here before. So this is day 5 of my 2-week-long stream streak. It hasn't been ongoing because I did miss 2 days due to being sick, but you know. So what is going to be end up happening is during these streams, I will be doing a mixture of video reactions. We're going to be playing some games. We're going to be running some giveaways. We're going to be just doing a bunch of chatting and just a bunch of fun stuff to kind of unwind. If you guys are like me, the stress of the day tends to pile up, and sometimes we just need a chance to chill out for a little bit and just kind of either talk things out or just find something to kind of numb our brains a little bit. So that's what I really aim to do over these next 2 weeks worth of streaming. And it looks like we already got some people in here. Let's see. We got Michaela. SJ's back. We got Grizzly. Ooh, we've got Sebastian Michaelis in the chat, everybody. Oh my goodness. We have Sebastian. Oh, Bessie. I'm sorry, I don't know why I did that. Popstar Queen, welcome back. Art is a Dinosaur, welcome. Housewife, welcome back. Nova, welcome back. Your local cat boy, welcome back as well. Alright, so in this stream is going to be a continuation of yesterday. Yesterday we were doing video reactions to some of my older videos, and it was the start of a journey of basically going over some of the older videos that are now 3 and 4 years old at this point, and just kind of seeing how far the channel has come in terms of audio and quality and overall how the channel has evolved. So I will also be going over a few key elements that go into making the audios at that time. I definitely don't do a lot of the things that I used to do due to learning a few new tricks, but as of right now, the channel's pretty good at where it's at. I know it's still a little bit bare at the moment, but here in the near future, that's not going to be the case. So what is going to end up happening is we are going to be continuing that with the original Professor roleplay. We were already halfway into this video, but oh, Sebastian, thank you so much for the super chat for £2. Can you react to handcuffs and chains, Yandere Professor? I will most definitely. Thank you very, very much for the donation. Oh my god. So, and on that note, I will actually let you guys know that during these streams, I am running a bit of a contest giveaway. So you guys will notice that there is a red bar in the lower left-hand corner. That is the giveaway threshold for what I'm giving away. So I'm actually giving away 6 different items right now. I'm giving away 5 autographed scripts of your guys' choice. These are going to be carbon copies of your choice of script from any audio on my channel. And these will be mailed to you with it's not Beckett, but it's not Beckett authenticated, but it will be an actual autograph from me, as well as an autograph from whichever character of the script that you choose. There will be 5 winners of that. And then for the after we reach that $100 threshold, I will be also giving away 1 audio commission to a random person that has donated. The way that you can enter is that if you donate at least $2 or more, that will be 1 entry into the giveaway. I am allowing multiple entries, so you can enter more than once. And all it is $2 per entry. You can donate more if you would like. Donating more does not raise your chances of being selected. So no need to think that if somebody donates a high amount, that means more entries for them. Every single donation is 1 entry and 1 entry only. So if you guys feel like that might be something you want to be a part of, please feel free to donate at any time during the stream. You can donate at streamlabs.com/MasaKittyASMR1, or I am also allowing donations directly to my Cash App, $SamyMerlin. So I wanted to give you, and I'm also accepting the super chats as well. So I wanted to make sure that everyone has an equal chance of getting into the giveaway. Once we reach that threshold, I will actually do the results and the giveaway results on stream that day once we reach the threshold. So if you guys are interested in that, now you know what to do. The rules for the giveaway are in the description down below. So if you guys want to have a look at that before we get started. If I had money, I'd do this because I want Dante's autograph. Well, like I said, it's only $2 to enter. So, you know, I'm not trying to break anybody's bank here. I love the Fox audio. Oh, thank you. Hi, Leela. I hope that's how you say your name. Leela or Layla. I'm gonna go with Leela. All right, so it seems like the stream is now fixed. I'm not noticing any problems so far. I'm not noticing any dropped frames. It looks like everything is hunky-dory and everything is pretty smooth. So with that, I think we are going to get started here in about 2 minutes. I want to give people a chance to actually get here. I know YouTube tends to be very laggy when it comes to the notifications. Hello, Sonia. Okay, good. I said it right. Okay, cool. I never want to assume, and God forbid if I butcher somebody else's name. I don't like butchering names. Mostly because people butcher mine all the time. And we have Mercenary Andrade here, and we have Ara Ridley. Welcome, you guys. Okay, so with this, I believe we are going to get started. So we are going to be first reacting to the Yandere Professor, Chapter 1. And let's get this started.
Good morning, class. Please take your seats. Welcome to English 101. My name is Professor Cooper, and I will be your English professor for the next 4 years of your college career. I can already see some familiar faces in here, and to those of you who are familiar with my class, do keep in mind that you are already on my radar.
Oh, God.
My expectations are higher than when you last saw me. For those of you who are new, I would like to formally welcome you to my domain.
I can hear the clipping, and it's...
English-based classes at this academy, so if you have multiple English or writing classes on your roster, then you will be seeing me multiple times a day, to which I...
Oh, thank you, Sebastian, for another £2. I've been here for 3 years, and I smile every time. Oh, thank you. Thank you, Sebastian. Oh, my goodness. Okay. So, real quick, while I still can. By the way, for those of you that donate, even if you haven't hit the threshold, I am keeping a list of whoever donates. That way I don't have to go back and look at it later. So by the time we hit the threshold, I will have everybody's name already, and then I will be able to randomly choose right then and there. So real quick, let me write down Sebastian. Okay, put down them. Perfect. All right. And here we go. And I will be fixing the title bar as well.
I hope we get along swimmingly. For today, we will be doing the routine class introductions where I will go around the room and you will tell me a little bit about yourselves. Kind of cliche, but if I don't know my students, then how can I teach them?
Okay, I'm already noticing comments in the chat. He almost sounds really dead inside. He sounds like a robot. Okay. So, there was actually a good reason for this. So, when I originally made this audio, I originally had the idea in my head of, because he is a college professor and because he's teaching mainly freshman classes, he does enjoy what he does. Don't get me wrong. But for his character, he's already done this spiel more than once. He's already done this speech maybe 4 or 5 times today. So at one point, it becomes really monotonous, and it becomes basically just a knee-jerk reaction of, okay, this is what I have to say. I need to get this out there, yada yada. You know, we can't start class until I say this. And because that is his kind of thought process, he gets very bored with it very fast. So he tries to get through it as quickly as possible while still remaining as professional as he can. But that attitude of, ugh, I don't want to say this, but I know I have to, is still in that voice inflection. So that whole sounding like a robot and sounding like he doesn't want to be there, that was actually intentional. So yeah, and he was supposed to sound, you know, minorly annoyed, the fact that he had to repeat that again and again and again and again for every single class. So, and the fact that he's teaching freshmen too. So it was that whole thing of, oh God, I gotta be at the top of my game all day. There's not enough coffee in the world for this. So,
But first, I'd like to lay down a few ground rules for this
he is so
class.
extra in a cringy way. Yeah,
There will
he
be no
is.
plagiarizing, copying, or cheating of any kind in this class. I have done this longer than you think, and I know all of the tricks that you will try. If I catch you doing any of these things, I will make sure that you do not graduate.
It's 2:02 a.m. I've been waiting all night for the live. Oh,
Meaning for those of you ladies
Sebastian,
dressed as strippers,
go to bed, dude.
you will not
Or dudette.
and cannot get good grades by sleeping around or flirting with me or any of the other professors. And if you try, you're going to wish you hadn't. You see, I have a dark side to me as well. And God help any of you who bring him out to play.
Basically meaning that he has taken up students on that offer and it bit him in the ass.
Now with that out of the way, let's start on this side of the room where I see some new faces. You. Tell me your name, your intended degree, and what you plan to do with that degree.
And for those of you that weren't here yesterday, I actually covered this. So this little bit right here where it's silent, there was supposed to be another set of lines there, but this was one audio that I completely forgot to watch all the way through before I uploaded it, just to do a precursory view through, and I just uploaded this straight off after I was done editing it. There was supposed to be another set of lines there that were muted when I exported the file initially. So this
you want
was,
to become a fashion designer.
yeah, that was a big fuck up on my end.
I hope to see great things in the fashion industry from you. And let's see. You. Yes, you there.
Oh God, I hit my microphone.
Sorry? You'll have to speak up. Come on. What is your name, my dear? Her name doesn't matter. All you need to know is that she's
Sure, I
painfully
remember
shy and
Dipshit
has no
Anderson, but I don't
future.
remember the other line.
Mr. Anderson, I don't recall asking you. Now let her speak. She's my girlfriend, so I know everything about her, and I can speak on her behalf. Is that so?
Also, I know that not really anybody feels sorry for Anderson there, but I do want to point out that this is a freshman class, and Professor Cooper already knows Mr. Anderson very, very well. Meaning Mr. Anderson has had to retake a freshman class that Cooper taught. Little key factoid for you. Just to iron in the details of how much a piece of shit Mr. Anderson is. Like, doesn't care about school whatsoever. So he has to retake a freshman class.
You, come with me to my office for a moment, please. Now, before I completely lose my control, please explain to me why that pathetic pile of shit is your boyfriend.
A little bit of southern twang there.
He clearly doesn't treat you with any
Shit.
respect. And to make matters worse, he embarrassed you in front of the entire class and tried to make you feel inferior in front of me. Well, I'm here to tell you that those kinds of tactics don't work on me.
And just to show you how
Now,
much he gets into his emotions, he literally just abandoned a freshman class. He literally just abandoned a freshman class to their own devices just so he can pull one student into his office for a private conversation.
Oh, you're undecided on your degree? Ah, but you want to be a writer. What kind of writer? A playwright, fan fiction, autobiographer, or freelance? Supernatural romance fiction. Well, although I love to read a good romance in my time, I myself am not a fan of those supernatural pieces. Well, it never really seemed that large of a challenge for me. It's too easy to make up supernatural fiction, and it's a lot easier to explain away any holes in mythology or alter a story's element. Take vampires, for example. When vampires were first created in literature, they were revered as monsters. Bloodthirsty creatures who lusted for nothing more than human blood.
And yes, this entire monologue here is a dig at Stephanie Meyer.
Vampires are painted as the good guys and as every person's romantic love interest. So much so, I actually
Because
got
Stephanie Meyer
accused of
started
being a
it.
vampire by a few students a few
She
years
started
ago.
it with the Cullens.
That whole Twilight fiasco. Sorry, I'm rambling. I may have my own reservations on supernatural things, but I can say that I cannot wait to see what you come up with in your own writing. You may be new, but after looking at your roster here, I can already see that you have 2 other classes with me this year. Let's see. You have English 101, obviously, creative writing, and my English AP course? You're only a freshman. How are you in both 101 and AP in the same year? They said 101 was a requirement to be able to advance into higher classes. I see.
That is actually true. For those of you that aren't in college yet, that is what they do to you when you first get into college. So if you don't already have any AP college credits that your high school gives you under your belt, no matter how well you know a subject, you are still required by most colleges to take the beginner courses. That actually happened to me when I went to college. Because I was supposed to be in the calculus class as a freshman, which was a junior or a third year class at that time. But because I didn't have the college credits from high school needed to get into that class, they forced me to take Algebra 1, which is high school level algebra in college. And the only way that I could take that is if I was able to test out of all of my classes early, which I did, but still it was annoying. It was very annoying.
You must have tested high enough for them to allow you into the AP class right out the gate then. Well, I'm happy to see you're so enthusiastic about writing and literature. I expect great things from you at this academy.
So if you guys, that's a little tidbit from me, by the way, for those of you that are still in high school, if you have the opportunity to take any AP classes, do it. Don't even hesitate about it. Do it. And honestly, AP classes aren't as hyped up and hard as teachers make it sound. They're just as, easy or difficult as any other class. So if you take an AP course, more than likely that'll be automatic college credit that you could transfer over to the school of your choice. And then that'll help you in the long run. That way you're not stuck doing a class that, you're yawning in because it's way too easy.
It's very rare I see a student with your type of enthusiasm. Alright then. Let's head back to class. Oh, wait. I almost forgot. Here. It's a spare key to my office instead. I can see you already having...
I forgot I made him move that fast. Just like, oh, first day of class? Well, I already like you. Here's a key to my office.
Bullying and toxic dominance. So if you ever feel alone, or need a quiet, safe place to study, or just need someone to talk to without any reservations, come to me. My door is always open to you.
See,
I'd like you to break up with Mr. Anderson as well.
He's cringy now,
Match for you at all.
Because I know that...
one-track-minded
oh,
mongrel
God.
who believes abuse is the only form of love. Whereas I know how to treat my woman with kindness and a gentle hand. See,
I don't know why. I don't remember why I wrote him in as having this sudden hard-on for the listener, but...
wither from being mishandled. Come on, let's get back.
Oh god, I forgot. This is editing issues, because I didn't learn yet how to layer everything on top of each other. I just let the sound effects play out from beginning to end.
Alright, class, back in your seats.
Side to side, so I can hear the background noise on and off.
Mr. Anderson, I'd like you to stay after class. I need to have a private word with you about your future in this academy. Now then, that is the end of class today. Please take a syllabus on your way out.
End of class, we only got to meet 3 students, and then he walked out for the rest of it.
Tomorrow we will be discussing your term hypothesis paper and how to construct a proper essay in MLA format. Dismissed.
Yeah, the rest of you students, I don't care about you guys. I just care about my 3 students I've talked to today.
Tolerance policy on bullying and toxic masculinity, correct? Yeah, but what does that have to do with my girlfriend? Oh, it has everything to do with her. As your professor and your senior, I forbid you to ever touch her again. From this day forward, you are not to have any contact with her. You are not to have any relationship with her of any kind. And if I see you touch her or treat her with any disrespect, I promise you I will make sure you regret ever coming back to this academy. You can't threaten me like that. She's my girlfriend, and I'll do what I want with her. Besides, what do you care? You're just a teacher making minimum wage teaching a boring subject because you have nothing better to do.
Oh, and to answer you guys' question about how old the listener and Cooper is supposed to be in his late 20s, early 30s. The listener is supposed to be older than 18. So college age, basically. Again, layering issues.
Even look in her general direction again, and I will bury this knife so far into your chest, you won't have any time to scream or even piss your pants. Now, do I make myself clear, Mr. Anderson? Crystal, sir. Speaking of pissing yourself... Get out of my sight. See you tomorrow, Mr. Anderson. And I'll see you tomorrow as well, my beautiful cherry blossom.
Okay. Alright, so that was Dante. There was a reason behind initially why Anderson decided to snap at Cooper, and then immediately, the minute Cooper started throwing hands, he immediately pissed himself. That was because I didn't establish it very well. I realize that now, but underneath all of that, there was actually a history with Cooper and Anderson. So because it wasn't his first class with Professor Cooper, he very much knew how to get underneath Dante's skin, because he made it abundantly clear, like, oh, you can't put hands on me, that's, assault and yada yada, I could press charges, I can do this, I can do that to you. And because of Dante's past and running from the police, he did everything he could not to involve the cops or give himself away at any point. So he very much bit his tongue the majority of the time he was with Mr. Anderson, but because he then saw a young lady, aka the listener, that was being mistreated, everything went out the window at that point. And then he's like, you know what? I don't give a shit if I put hands on you. You fucking deserve this. So when you hear Anderson start pissing his pants and like, that's because he realizes all the shit that he's been talking to Mr. Anderson is now, all the shit he's talking to Cooper about is now bubbling to the surface, and he's now thinking, oh shit, I am so dead. So it's that very like entitled bratty attitude of, oh, I can do whatever I want, and then the minute they get hit, they're that whole stereotypical entitled boy mentality of, the minute anything is brought upon them, any consequences whatsoever, then they immediately play victim. Let's see. Did he actually piss himself? Well, judging by the way Cooper said, speaking of pissing yourself, I'm gonna go ahead and say, yeah, he pissed himself. Professor Marsden is great. Okay, who is Professor Marsden? Hold up. Who is that? I gotta know. Who is Professor Marsden? Where, who, and what is he from? I gotta know. Z Saku V. Oh, Zasku. Okay, I know who that is now. Okay. I'm like, wait a minute, why does that sound familiar? Hey, maybe I can get together with him and we can do like a collab with Professor Cooper and Professor Marsden. That'd be cool. That would be cool. Okay, so let's see. Which one do we want to do next? Which one? I'm very tempted to do Trouble in Paradise. Andrew and Cooper, God, how would that even work? I don't know, but I would make it work, okay? We would make it work. Hello, Shiki. Welcome. Welcome. Okay, let's see. Yeah, I can definitely look into it. It definitely sounds fun. Alright, so which one do we want to do now? Yeah, go ahead and close the player. I don't care. We can do Trouble in Paradise. We can do another Jasper. Let's see. Or I can do the Gaster one. Okay, housewife. Well, thank you for joining us today. Hopefully we see you again tomorrow. I will try and stream earlier tomorrow. That way everyone's able to join in without having to lose sleep over it. Trouble in Paradise. All right. Looks like Trouble in Paradise. It is. So this one was actually a lot of fun to work on. I think this is one of the first ones that I remember actually learning how to layer sound effects. So this one was, in my opinion, the best one that I had worked on at the time. Oh, God. Okay, so the trottings...
Do what I showed you. Heels down in the stirrups.
Okay, so the trotting sound effect you hear in the background, that was actually me doing the sound effect because for the life of me, I could not find a good enough trot sound effect for horses that sounded okay without a bunch of crap in the background. So I had to just make my own, and it was literally just me going just trying to emulate hoofbeat sound effects.
Shoulders back, head up, eyes forward.
And this one was actually a little bit more high-pitched than it was supposed to be.
Bring your heels into his sides and ask him to canter.
Yeah, this one, Atreyu's voice was a little bit more high-pitched than it should have been. I didn't realize that at the time.
Yeah, good boy. Eyes up, shoulders
And then
down.
again, cantering sound effect I did myself.
How does it feel? I know, it feels strange. But once you learn how to properly ride a horse, you'll be able to ride any creature in the stables, including Artax. You want to stop? Alright. Pull the reins and sit back and tell him whoa.
Let's see.
Good job, my love. Very well done.
Saw the Lucas Minecraft at the end of your video
Sure
from
do
Patron.
learn
I cried.
fast.
Oh.
Yes, I suppose you do have a mighty fine teacher. Good boy, Falcor.
Oh wait,
Right, Max.
Sebastian, are you Lucas Minecraft?
Well, if you like her that much, maybe she'd like it if you became her mount until she finds her own. Would you like that, my love? Then it's settled. From here on, Falcor is your official steed until you can tame your own dragon. Alright, easy boy.
Let's see, would you ever do a commission for Dante being male on male, and how much would that be? I would be able to do a commission for Dante, actually, for any gender, actually. A commission for that would actually be, would actually run about maybe $100, something like that. I can link my Wizio page in there. I do all of my audio commissions through Wizio. So give me 1 second. There we go. So if you head over to my Wizio, you will be able to see all the prices and the different audio commissions that I do offer. I offer both safe for work and not safe for work. The not safe for work audios are going to be pretty much double what the safe for work is. But yeah, I would be able to do that for you, no problem.
You don't want to throw her off now. Well, isn't this a sight? A demon prince playing riding instructor. You sure have gone downhill, Atreyu. What are you doing here, Satan? Here to stir up more trouble, I suppose? Not this time. I just came by to tell you Father is waiting for you in the throne room. And he said to bring her along. He would like to meet his new daughter. Nice try. But Father is in Azazel's circle dealing with a few escaped souls. I was just there. He was, but now he's in your throne room wanting your attendance. He's curious about why you left him in Azazel so suddenly. And you know you can't avoid him finding out about her for long. That is, if he hasn't already found out about her. You know how Asbrock yabs.
Satan, I swear. If you don't leave my circle in the next 5 seconds, I will personally drive my sword into your chest and feed your corpse to Artax.
Don't threaten me with a good time. You got fire?
And yes, Satan is supposed to be Satan.
Come on, darling.
I know that tends to be a common question.
Don't listen to Satan. He's just full of bullshit lies and hot air. Come on, walk on, Falcor.
Again with the horse sound effect. Oh my god.
Are you happy after that ride? You did do very well. You and
Okay, I didn't realize it until after I'd already uploaded this, but Atreyu kind of sounds like a proud dad when he's talking to the listener about the ride. Just like, "Aw, did you enjoy yourself? Was that fun?"
Falcor will make a great team. Come on, time to dismount. Swing your leg over the side and slide off. Gotcha. Someone's lost some weight. Have we been missing meals again?
No.
What am I going to do with you?
Nothing. I've been eating, I promise.
Does someone need another week of bedroom lockdown?
Oh, yes, please.
I would love that as well. But there's one thing you're forgetting. No wings. No, I can't carry you everywhere. Hey, I've tried carrying you everywhere, but the last time I did, you nearly broke one of my horns in half from squirming. Well, it's either you want me to carry you or you don't. You can't have it both ways, darling. So...
Let's see. How much would it be if one of the characters found out their significant other is pregnant? One of my friends just asked me. So, I'm able to do most scenarios for the set prices. So the scenario doesn't really define the price. What does define the price is how long the audio is, because the longer it takes, the longer the video is, the longer it takes me to make it, thereby making it more expensive. So if we were doing that scenario of if characters found out their significant other is pregnant, I can do that no problem, and it wouldn't cost you any extra. Now, if you're asking if I can add, you know, more than one voice or more than one character, then yeah, that will cost you extra. But the scenario in and of itself isn't gonna affect the price at all.
Azazel was correct after all. Father! And when were you going to tell me about your new bride, Eric Heel?
Oh no, Lucifer!
It appears Satan wasn't lying after all. When were you going to tell me you were coming for a visit, Father? I would have better prepared the palace. Spare me the pleasantries, Eric Heel. How long do you intend to hide that girl from me? And how long did you intend to keep her a secret from me, the king and ruler of Pharaoh? I wasn't planning on keeping her a secret for long, just long enough until she was changed into a demoness. I didn't want to risk what, Eric Heel? Risk her being stolen by the Morning Star? Risk her being swept off her feet by the first angel?
I don't know why I did this, where it sounds like he's puffing his chest out, just like, by the Morning Star, what up?
Did your last breath. Stay back, Father. You may be the first angel, but I will not allow you to take her away from me so easily. Get on Artax's back and hold on to his saddle. Do it now. Such business. You obviously have no idea with whom you are dealing, boy. Artax, get her out of here now. Stay airborne until you hear me call. Go! You'll not take another one from me, Father. I won't allow it.
You don't even know who she really is. How can you call her your bride if you don't even know what she truly is? Are you all right, my lady? Here. Grab the reins. I'll give you better balance.
I have this answer. I hope this will help with my question. How far did our tax fly for? Very hard to say. Basically, he flew outside of, how do I say this? He flew outside of, Lucifer's telligible bubble, meaning he flew outside of the range of which Lucifer is able to sense, others. I can't say exactly how far because, you know, it's hell. Time and space mean nothing. 1 inch can be a mile if you let it. Basically, I don't know. I'm just making shit up.
Don't worry. You're safe with me. Atreyu tamed me himself and trained me on flying smooth. He prefers a rough ride, but he knew you would need a more gentle ride should something like this happen. I swear, his foresight never ceases to astound me. Yes, unfortunately he saw this happening. That's why he left me saddled for the past few days. Trust me, if he knew how to avoid his foresight, he would be getting into a lot less trouble. How do I know? I've been with him since he fell from grace. I was
Artax is literally the dad everyone wants.
His horns and harnessing his demon abilities.
Well, I mean, when he wants to be, he's a gentle giant.
The overlord of the third circle, and the sole patriarch of lust.
I took direct inspiration for Artax from Aragon. I took inspiration from Saphira.
Power, wealth, sex,
So he's lethal and threatening when he wants to be, but he can be, you know, pleasant to be around.
God cast out the renegade angels and those who refused.
Oh, all right, Allison. Well, thank you so much for joining us today. Hopefully we can see you again tomorrow.
I and the other overlords watched as they fought each other. Brother against brother, sister against...
Artax is my favorite character. Aww.
I can still hear...
Everyone loves the dragon.
Atreyu was cast down after the war had ended, but not after Archangel Uriel tried to cut off his wings and slashed his right eye with his fiery sword. Atreyu's right eye is the gateway to his foresight, and Uriel tried to blind his sight so he would lose his angelic abilities forever. That's when he called out to me, and I couldn't wait around any longer. I brought him back with me to Hell, and the other dragons chose their riders soon after. I had my horde nurse him back to health like he was my own young. It didn't take him long to adjust to his new home. Soon after things died down, his wings began to molt, and grew the pitch-black feathers he has now. And after I had used my own dragon fire to give him the ability of fire resistance, he grew his horns and took on his demon form, which you see now. He spent centuries learning new demonic abilities, and learning how to tame different creatures. He fought with his brothers constantly about who was going to rule each circle. We dragons stepped in and told them how it was going to work. Which none of them liked.
Artax reminds me of Jake Long and Seize.
But like little young hatchlings, they needed to learn the hard way.
I've actually wanted to do an Avatar audio, but
It took millennia for them to gain the tool.
I never got a hang of the Na'vi language.
We dragons stepped down and let them take over our kingdoms. So far, things seem to be running smoothly. Up until now, that is. I warned him about keeping you a secret from Lucifer, but like the brat he is, he didn't listen.
Why did Uriel try to slash his eye? Like, the angel part is kind of understandable. Was there a note of the motive?
Just a couple of bonfires, couple of boring flights, and a few ignored commands will get his attention. Trust me. I may be his dragon, but he knows who's truly in charge here. Whether he wants to admit it or not.
Okay, so SJ, to answer your question, I will actually answer that with a question of my own. So for everyone that is here, I am going to offer you a special gift, but I need to get confirmation from you guys if you would like to have it or not. But if I do this, then that means that the stream will more than likely be privatized after the end of tomorrow. So I have completed the next video, the next audio script for Demon Boyfriend. And it actually goes into the history of Atreyu and his fall from heaven. And it also mentions his beef with Uriel. And it does get a little bit heavy. So as a special treat for you guys, I am going to ask, do you want me to give you a precursory read-through of the script here on stream? And this will only be for you guys. This will only be for this stream. I'm not going to do it again. This will be the only time that you will hear this. You will hear the audio as it's written. No audio effects, no voice manipulation, nothing. It's going to be just me, but this will be the one and only time you will hear about this audio until it's actually officially released. So all right, everyone's saying do it. All right, so what I'm gonna do, give me a second. I'm gonna open up a new screen here. You guys are gonna see black for a second. Okay, are you gonna type or not? All right, so let me find it really quick. Let me find it here. You turn me on like a light switch. God damn it! I've had that song stuck in my head for the longest time now. Okay. So let me see if it will. I want to see if it'll show on stream. It does show on stream. Okay. Sometimes OBS gets really weird with the web pages. So for something like Google Drive or whatever, it won't show on stream. It'll just say, you know, oh, sign in, because privacy and all that. But nothing really private here. So this is the official script of the Demon Boyfriend next chapter. And currently the running title of it is Devils and Dragons. What happens in stream stays in stream. Yes, absolutely. So, the premise of this is the listener and Atreyu finally get to the halfway point between the Lust Circle and the Dragon Lands of Draconia. While resting inside a cave and hiding from Lucifer, The listener takes this opportunity to ask Atreyu more about dragons and how he came to be in hell. So this actually starts out with being in the cave itself. Or does it? No, they're just walking into the cave. So they're still on horseback, and Atreyu, they're still on horseback, they're walking in. Horses walking, and then you have a horse snorting. No sign of them. Horse snickers. Good. That means we should be good to hide out here for a while. Did you see or hear anything, or anyone close by that could give away our position? The horse whinnies in response. Good work, Nighthawk. I left some souls and a few corpses in the corner for you. I'll let you know when we're ready to head out. He asks a question through whinny. We would be fine continuing on until the next millennia, but unfortunately we aren't alone in this journey. She isn't used to long treks like this. She needs a chance to rest. Otherwise she'll be too weak to even enter Draconia in one piece. Nighthawk has a problem with that, so he angrily snorts and neighs. Don't you ever speak of her in that manner, you walking sorry excuse for a glow-in-the-dark glue stick. She is the only one I could ever trust to make this trek without Artax's assistance. Don't you remember the last time we were out here with Retract your statement, or I feed you to Ghidorah when we reach Draconia. The horse snorts in response. That's what I thought. He clears his throat and sits by the fire. Don't mind him. Whenever he makes this trek on an empty stomach, he tends to speak nonsense. Nighthawk snorts and whinnies in response. That's enough! He shoots a fire blast and the whinnying stops. I won't tolerate your insolence any longer, Nighthawk. You had your chance to find her, and just like back then, you choose to betray me. And to think you used to be the most trustworthy symbol of honor in the Pearl City. It's nothing, just more disgusting reminders of the past. If I tell you, you have to swear not to tell anyone. And that goes for you too, Falcor. I won't have any nightmares spreading sensitive information around the sadness swamps. Falcor whinnies in response. Well, at least one of you still has some Pearl City decency. Nighthawk snorts. As I was saying, I suppose I should start from the beginning, shouldn't I? You've heard Lucifer say my angel name before, right? Erekil was the name given to me by Atak. It means the Lord's earth. When you're born as an angel, your purpose is given to you through your name. My purpose was to create the world you know as Earth, and maintain it by teaching the humans how to properly care for it and use it to their full potential so they can thrive as he wanted. I taught them geomancy, a craft in which you can read the spirits and history of anything through signs in the earth and flora. Yes, I was the one who created Eden's Garden. I created everything on Earth to Atak's design, down to the finest grain of sand. Even then, though, it seemed nothing impressed him or was enough to satisfy his sick obsession with making something as perfect as he wanted. No matter what it was, he always found flaws and would immediately either demand changes upon changes, or he would get rid of it altogether. One day after I'd finished with the garden, I'd convinced Atak to allow me creative freedom with the flora. Unbeknownst to him, though, I already had. When I created Sephiroth. And no, not that Sephiroth. Sephiroth is better known as the Tree of Knowledge. Atak had found out about it only minutes before he allowed Adam and Eve to enter the garden. Sephiroth wasn't meant to be a hindrance to Atak's big plan, but as a way to progress it, to his ultimate goal in the easiest way possible. But because he didn't know what Sephiroth's abilities or purpose was, he told Adam and Eve to stay away from it completely. I tried to tell him the tree was harmless enough to eat from, but he wouldn't listen. I even ate one of the fruits myself to prove it had no ill effects, which was a bold move on my part, because we were forbidden to ever experiment with our creations ourselves. That rule has a long history attached to it. The point is, I tried to help move his plan along in the best way I could, and it didn't seem like enough. But because I made something that he had no knowledge of, I had made a grave mistake. In those few seconds of hesitation, when he told Adam and Eve not to go near it, Atak had shown visible weakness for the very first time in eons, and Lucifer had a front row seat to that weakness. Being Atak's favourite angel and second in command, Lucifer was practically Atak's shadow, always one step behind. Lucifer had inside knowledge about everything, including the birth and future demise of the world you know to be Earth. And seeing the world that was to be created sparked something in him that made him want to claim it all his own. He used Sephiroth's leaves to hide himself as a serpent and disguised his voice as Atak's to convince Eve to eat my creation's fruit. He saw the future of women, and knew she would be feeble-minded enough to believe him without giving in to second thought. After Atak found out about their disobedience and banished them from the garden, he went on the search for the angel that interfered with his project. Lucifer was the first to be cast out and fall, but not before he recruited me for the rebellion and had me create this place. At the time, Lucifer was powerful enough that he created an all-new dimension, one that we could control just as Atak controlled the Pearl City. A dimension where we could use our abilities and skills however we wanted, without limitations or expectations. My brothers followed me with Lucifer, and when we were banished, Lucifer had promised us a home with him here. The only thing he couldn't guarantee was our safety when we did fall. The ritual for banishment from the Pearl City is you have your wings ripped out in front of all your other angel siblings. You're stripped of your celestial robes and abilities, and you're branded with Atak's light with the symbol of a traitor. And since there were so many of us to banish at the same time, they were very careful in staggering our falls, so they didn't risk us converging for a revenge strike. Lucifer was the first to bear this ritual. His wings were the worst part to watch for me. Being Atak's right-hand angel, he had 3 separate pairs of wings, each pair bigger than the next, and the bigger the wing, the more painful it is to be removed. Mammon, Satan, and Valak shared the same fate. Azazel and I were the only ones to escape. I saved Azazel from his wing removal by jumping in front of Uriel's flame sword. Once Azazel had fallen and gotten away, Uriel tried to take my wings. He thought it would be an easy task, but I had stolen Excalibur from his holster and fought back as best as I could. He had me trapped, and his sword had run me through, the tip of his sword stabbing through a lot of my feathers. But if there's one thing Lucifer taught me, it's to always recognize weakness. And in that moment, I saw weakness in Uriel's eyes for the first time. He didn't want to banish his brothers, and he had no choice. And in that moment, I chose to exploit that and steal that weakness as my first trophy as a fallen. I'd already been jealous of Uriel's foresight, and even more jealous that he refused to teach me how to harness the ability for myself, while I taught him how to create his own flora and fauna, and even showed him how to alter dimensions. So I decided to take it for myself. He removes the eye patch. However, I was only able to take half of his foresight ability, and once I had fallen, the foresight nearly destroyed my sanity. I honestly would have gone mad and destroyed myself if it hadn't been for the dumb luck of falling straight into Artax's nest. I know, he told you about my rather unusual demon upbringing. Out of all of us, I was the only one who was taken in by Hell's existing creatures. Not even Lucifer was accepted at first. I suppose that's part of the reason he loathes my continued ruling over the Third Circle. Well, just like I had a hand in creating the Earth, I also had a hand in creating Hell. Everything here I actually built based on Lucifer's designs, with a few of my own liberties thrown in here and there. Oh, the creatures came on their own. The creatures here in hell are all of Atak's rejects, refusals, and failures. Everything he got wrong, basically. You ever hear the phrase, out of sight, out of mind? Well, there's a reason Atak made the bullshit rule that he may never be allowed to set foot inside of hell. He never wants to be reminded that he ever made any mistakes. He never wants anyone to know that he isn't as perfect as humans claim he is. Even the human belief of everything is according to God's plan makes me laugh. Even if a mistake is according to Atak's plan, they still consider that perfection, without realizing the real truth about him was right in front of them the entire time. Of course, he's who I've meant this whole time. If you're going to rule over the lust ring, darling, you're going to have to be quicker in your understanding. So naive and still so adorable. I must admit it really gets my demonic lust going. Some dark neighs are heard distracting him. Though I would disagree with Nighthob's incredibly irritating instinct to be a buzzkill, I suppose I should hold back until we get back to the palace. Not only is this cave floor terrible for your back, but I think your squealing and moaning would give away our position. Oh, I know. Such a mean fallen angel, aren't I? Don't worry. Once we get back to the palace, I'll be sure to make the wait worth it for both of us, alright, baby girl? Good girl. They get more comfortable as the fire cracks and demons faintly scream in the background. You know, in all my centuries, I don't think I've ever said God's name out loud ever since I fell. It feels disturbing. It feels even more wrong to say the word God. Well, for one thing, the phrase God means something different to us Celestials. It's more of a title than a name, and a title that holds a serious ton of respect for the one who wields it. For instance, there's more than one God in the world. There's actually millions. Atak just happens to be the one who enjoys throwing his weight around more than the others, which is why he has 13 different names throughout the world. Of course, there's other gods here in hell too. Well, you've got the gods who make up my royal council, like Hades and his bride Persephone, Osiris and Anubis, then there's King Yama, the four ancients, Bao, Han, Fan, and Co., LTO, Santa Muerte, Erlich, the list goes on. Remember when I told you about creating different dimensions? Well, the other gods have their own dimensions within hell. Not only is it easier to manage your own people without treading on someone else's territory, but it also makes it easier to sort the souls that come through our doors every day. Let me put it this way. When a soul comes through the veil, their beliefs are studied, and then they're sent to the appropriate dimension so they can enter their believed heaven or hell. If a Christian dies and goes to hell, then they're sent to Lucifer. A Greek goes to Hades, etc. Well, to be honest, it took us a while to figure out a system for it. For the longest time, we had to sort souls ourselves, which was hilarious for us, but also a huge pain in the arse. I still remember the look on Pharaoh Ramesses' face when he went to Lucifer instead of Osiris. Not only was he confused, but he had honestly thought he had crossed over to heaven. I can appreciate a good act of disobedience and mass genocide against Atak as the next fallen, but the fact that he could stare Lucifer in the face and call him an angel was the most entertainment I've ever seen. I guess I shouldn't have been surprised when Lucifer recruited him for his 4th battalion in the 7th Circle. I think the funniest part is the fact that Osiris still doesn't know he's been missing the Pharaoh's soul in his dimension for over 3 millennia. Well, once he does realize Lucifer overstepped and his soul count has been off for that long, let's just say Hell's denizens aren't going to be upset over another civil war. Not to mention with the weight surrounding Ramesses' soul after what he did in his life, Osiris had already thoroughly planned out his punishment before he even perished. In fact, part of his punishment was to drown at the bottom of the Red Sea once Moses allowed the water walls to collapse. Osiris is nothing but fair, and after what he did to the people he was supposed to rely on and protect, he was very much due a taste of his own medicine. And in Osiris's mind, the way to start that was to start him at the bottom and force him to crawl his way back up. As a fallen, I got to spend a lot of my time observing and watching, especially when it came to watching God's plan play out. And when the other Celestials and Gods decided to meddle and have their own fun, what better thing to do than grab the popcorn and enjoy the show? Speaking of enjoying a show, you should perhaps get some rest. He unfurls his wings and flaps them out to clear the dust, and a blanket blows softly. Ever since you've been under my care and in my circle, I've been entertaining myself with watching your dreams, and honestly it's become my favourite thing to do every single night. It's also impossible for a soul to lie in their dreams, as your dreams show you your absolute most true self. How do you think I keep catching you not taking proper care of yourself? That's what I thought. After we get to the palace, I will be sure to deliver your punishment. And starting from now, I will be more attentive to your side of our deal. Remember? Our deal was you take care of yourself, and I allow you to choose our lustful sessions. But if you don't hold up your end, all is off. And I'm free to do with you as I please, whether you like it or not. Don't worry. I won't put this into effect until after we get back to the palace, as you should be more worried about taming a dragon tomorrow. And in this instance, in your current state, a dragon horde is much more dangerous to you than I am. Don't worry, we're safe here. Nighthawk and Falcor are trained in surveillance, and I will keep watch on you in case we do need to move in a hurry. You're completely safe, dear. Do you want me to sing to you to help you sleep? Alright, alright. He starts making out and he sighs lustfully. He then starts singing. And I'm not gonna sing the entire song. You guys are gonna have to wait for the audio for that one. After he's done singing, a brief pause, and a dragon roars close by. Nighthawk neighs darkly and starts pawing his hoofs. Hold your position, Nighthawk. She won't find us here. She must know we're on our way to Draconia, and she probably thinks we're already there. Just stay hidden, and for the love of Karina, will you shut the fuck up? We'll be fine to lay low here for a few hours, as long as she gets proper rest so she's able to handle entering Draconia. And for her sake, I hope I don't have to step in to protect her. Nighthawk whinnies questioningly. Because, Nighthawk, if it comes to that, I don't know if I'd be able to choose between her or my dragon siblings. Would I choose to keep her proposed queen alive and risk the draconial lineage on her? Or would I let them destroy her and spend another millennium searching for her soul before she's taken back to the Pearl City? Nighthawk whinnies again. I know that, but honestly losing her to Lucifer seems much more painful to me than if the Drakes got to her. At least then she would be reincarnated and still exist somewhere. If Lucifer got a hold of her. You know exactly what would happen to her if Lucifer... Nighthawk whinnies comfortingly. Let's let her rest for now. Tomorrow we'll decipher if she's truly ready to be mine, or if she's to cease existing. And the scene fades out with the dragon screech. So that is actually the next chapter of Demon Boyfriend. Oh, housewife, did you just get here? Hold on. All right, so let's get back to this. Housewife, are you just getting back? Because if so, if you're just getting back, housewife, you may want to go back in time in the stream, like by 30 minutes or so, while you still can. Nah, okay. Okay. Up to you. Up to you. Okay, so which audio do we want to react to now? Okay, you heard a good part of it. Okay, good. Alright, Michaela, good night. Sleep well. And I mean Michaela Greeley, not Michaela L. Let's see. Cuffins and chains. Okay, handcuffs and chains. Alright. Oh, yeah, this one. Okay. So, let's see. Which one? Bum bum ba-dum bum bum bum. Which one do we want to do? Which one do we want to do? So I see... I would say Miguel, but I'm patient. Okay, so we've got Miguel, we've got Valentine, we got Cuffs and Chains. Let's see, there's another Valentine. I got Brothers Quarrel. Handcuffs and chains. Okay, so what we're gonna do is we're gonna do handcuffs and chains, and then after that we will do the I think after we do handcuffs and chains, I might actually do Bloodborne, and then we'll move on to Miguel and Valentine. So let's get this started with Professor Cooper. And this one was done a little bit better with the quality because there's actual editing in this. Oh, look, Sebastian.
Alright, class. That concludes today's lesson. Don't forget about your essays on the Divine Comedy. I expect them on my desk no later than Thursday.
Okay, so this is when I was actually experimenting with voice tricks to make it sound more natural. That way you didn't hear all the electronic clipping and whatever.
Oh, yeah, I'm not getting enough sleep. The school year seems to be taking longer than usual. Well, no matter. It's time for me to go find my cherry blossom and see if she can give me an answer.
Can I write a fan fiction for Dante? Of course you can!
I just hope she says yes.
I'm not gonna deny you that right away. My friend just fell asleep on my butt. Whatever you do, Queen, do not fart.
Oh, Mr. Cooper, I'm glad I caught you.
Ah, Miss Sanders. What is it?
I had a couple questions about the essay.
Oh, you do? Well, if you didn't have your nose buried in your phone watching Yandere boyfriend videos, I doubt you would be having...
Subtle call out.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Mm-hmm. Consider this a warning, Miss Sanders. The next time I see your eyes on any electronic device other than the overhead projector, I will confiscate it until the end of the semester. Understood?
Yes, sir.
Good. Now, you had some questions about the essay?
Oh, yeah. When we write it, does it have to be double-spaced or single-spaced? And can we choose any particular font we want, or does it have to be a certain
Oh god.
And what is considered a reliable source for when we write out our reference list? I don't really understand that part. And also, is there a specific word count, or does it...
Okay, so when I was recording this, I tried to be as awkward as possible. I actually had a friend that was like this in high school, where the teacher would just... We had this one teacher, right? And his way of teaching would be to just hand us a piece of paper with the assignment and the rules of the assignment on it, but it would be vague as hell. And it would be very vague, and it would be unfair because we would follow it to the letter of the sheet that he would give us, but he would still almost fail all of us because he would make up all these bullshit rules of, oh, you didn't meet the word count, you didn't do this, you didn't do that. And all of us are sitting there going, dude, you didn't say anything, so how the fuck are we supposed to know? And so she caught on to that, and so midway through the semester, she actually started doing that shit of, oh, by the way, is there a word count? Is there a this? Is there a that? She would go on and on and on for the remainder of class, just asking him those questions, just so all of us would be able to pass. Like, she was the regular OG in our class, and he hated the fact that we did that. And if she called out, either I would do it or someone else would do it, but bro, I actually had a friend that did this because it was required for survival.
Does it have to be any length we want? I don't want to make it too runny, and I also don't want to make it too short. You see, I'm trying my best to get an A in this class, because if I don't, then I won't be able to graduate, and then I'll disappoint my parents. So I could always use the help, and honestly,
What in
I
the
don't
hell
really
does
know
she
what I'm
think
doing.
she's doing?
And it's just so hard.
Where the fuck
So is
does
there
he
any way
think
that you
he's
can
putting
probably
his
help me with this?
Sorry, Miss Sanders, I need to go.
Okay, I actually just realized something there. I didn't notice that before. Hold up.
Honestly,
So,
What in
I
the
don't
hell
really
does
know
she
what I'm
think
doing.
she's doing?
okay, so right there, when you've got the echo going, that's my actual voice. I actually forgot to edit that.
And it's just so hard.
Where the fuck?
So
I didn't know I didn't know that was there. I didn't know that was there.
Sorry, Miss Sanders, I
Oops.
But Mr. Cooper,
And that was 3 years ago. I have learned from my mistakes at this point.
Oh, hey, Mr. C. Great lecture today. I never knew the Divine Comedy was so interesting of a story. I can't wait to read more. And I can't wait to hear tomorrow's lecture on the story's symbolism.
Right. You'd best run along, Mr. Montoya. I think your next class is about to start.
Oh shit, you're right. I gotta go. Anyway,
And yes, Mr. Montoya was actually a reference to Princess Bride. My name is Diego Montoya. You kill my father. Prepare to die.
May I see you in my office a moment?
Which, in retrospect, is actually the theme for Cooper. Just the whole, my name is Diego Montoya. You kill my sister. Prepare to die.
What the fuck was that? Don't you dare lie to me. Who was that? Don't think I didn't see his hands all over you. And I saw the way you were looking at him. Did you really think I'd let you start seeing another guy behind my back? I didn't let you out of my house just so you could start flirting with other guys. Especially immature ones like him.
And this
Personally, I would
episode, I actually tried to
I cannot forgive.
I tried to emulate an episode of Law and Order, specifically Law and Order SVU.
Cherry Blossom, you've left me no choice. Sit down in the chair with your hands behind your back. Tough shit, little lady. You should have thought of that before you went behind my back and flirted with other males. Now, as you're told, and sit down. Fine, by force it is. Oh, no, you don't. You're not running away from me. Besides, the door is locked, and no one is around to hear you.
You're not my dad!
I've already shown you that I can provide for you and be everything you need. You have proven to me that you cannot be trusted on your own. And you have also proven my hypothesis that all your
I mean, in this one he does have a bit of a Sebastian attitude towards him. Especially when it comes to the listener versus CL.
I do consider myself to be extremely attractive and romantic. However, I am very different. I know this concept may be extremely rare today, but there are people out there with looks and brains. You, my delicate, naughty little flower, are looking at such a person right now. Don't believe me? Fine. Allow me to demonstrate.
Queen, just make a fart noise loud enough for her to wake up.
Honestly, these suits are
Do
very
it!
restrictive, but they maintain my composure so I don't end the day by strangling several of my students. And you've already seen how much brains and intellect I have. Oh, you mean you didn't notice? Your desk is sitting right on top of the spot where your beloved Mr. Anderson died. Of course you wouldn't notice, because I know every trick to getting blood out of any fabric or surface. And there is no trace of Mr. Anderson ever going to this school. What did I do? I told you before, baby girl. I slit his throat and stabbed him in the chest 17 times.
Carl, that kills people! Yes, that has been heavily referenced in the comment section, and that was the intent, and I love that people got that.
And soon, I'm going to be doing the same to Mr. Montoya. That is, if he continues to pursue me. So if you want to keep Mr. Montoya alive, I'd suggest staying away from him from now on. Understand, darling?
Margarita, but won't that mean he's on the run if you wanted to do the whole Law and Order? I mean, by the end of the audio, he is actually on the run.
Dante Cooper, hands in the air.
What? What is the meaning of this?
Okay, so the officer, I was actually trying to do my best impression of Olivia Benson from SVU. I tried so hard to be Mariska, but it didn't work.
Hands in the air, Mr. Cooper. Step away from the girl.
What? You're wearing a wire? How could you?
Mr. Cooper, freeze.
Okay,
Dante Cooper.
okay. To show you guys how dedicated I was to this performance, I actually did, I did actually tase myself in the leg. I had it on the low setting, but it still hurt like a bitch.
You're under arrest for the murder of Jonathan Anderson and kidnapping.
I'll get you for this. Mark my words. You'll pay for this, I swear it. Is this the thanks I get for protecting you?
Shut up.
You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can and will be used against you in a court of law. You have the right to an attorney. If you cannot afford,
Because I know every trick.
Oh shit.
What he did.
Not what I
Is
wanted
this
to
the
do.
thanks I get
Okay,
for
there we go.
protecting you?
Okay, so for the male officer, I really wanted to do an impression of Ice-T from SVU as Tutuola, but I tried it and I didn't want to risk it because I didn't want anyone to come at me and be like, "Oh, you racist." It's like, "What? I love Ice-T. What do you want from me?" I love Ice-T. I love Tutuola. What do you want? So I just went the safety route and just went for trying to sound like Stabler.
Shut up.
You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can and will be used against you in a court of law. You have the right to an attorney. If you cannot afford one, one will be appointed.
Are you all right, sweetheart?
Again, that whole...
It's all right. You're safe now. he's going to jail. You don't have to be
Again, that whole Benson thing.
Don't think like that. It's what people like him do to make you trust them. They treat you with kindness to try to manipulate you into doing what they want. What he did to you is wrong. You cannot allow him to control your mind anymore. Now, we're going to take you down to the hospital to get you checked out, alright? I'll have paramedics come in and forensics to take photos of your injuries, okay? It's alright. I'll be here the whole time. This is Officer Sanchez to base. I need a bus. Yes. Put the hospital on notice. We have an assault victim, as well as a possible rape victim. Prepare a rape kit.
Lieutenant, we need to get her down to the station for her statement. Keeping her in this place any longer will just be cruel. She's been through enough.
I suppose you're right, Sergeant. Will you take her down to the station? I need to stay here with forensics to see if I can find any more evidence incriminating this guy.
Of course. Follow me, miss.
It's all right, hon. You're safe with my sergeant. He'll take you to the hospital, and then he'll get your official statement. Yes, I promise you're in safe, capable hands.
Shall we go? We need to get those injuries looked at before something else happens.
Okay, so Margarita just said, "Excuse me," his brain goes, "How the fudge did Dante get out of cuffs and into a cops?" So, because he was able to get out of the cuffs so easily and get a uniform, this isn't the exact uniform, but I couldn't find anything that, you know, resembled a policeman's uniform, so I just went with this. But this isn't the first time he's been caught. I will say that. This isn't the first time he's been caught. And so he does know how these things usually work out. And so he always has some form of plan set up just in case he does end up getting caught at some point. And one of those things was actually being able to find a close enough doppelganger in the police force. That way, if he does get caught, he can immediately get away from the officers that are restraining him, knock them out, take their uniform, and then patrol as said doppelganger. Oops, not what I wanted to do. And I know this is already going to be asked, but yes, the Professor audios will continue in a further chapter. They're pre-production, people. I'm working on like 5 different audios at the same time, so bear with me. Girl, take a break. Never. These are my breaks. These live streams are my breaks, damn it. Oh, and it looks like we've already been going for an hour and a half. With no dropped frames, alright. So I don't know what I did, but...
It's alright, miss. It's not too much farther. We just need to make a slight detour before we go to the hospital, if that's okay. I know this may seem odd.
Is the next Dante audio M for F? So, about 99% of my audios that are currently in production are male for female. I'm not really experienced with making female for male or male for male types of audios. I have wanted to experiment, but I'm trying to do it in the right way so it doesn't sound not patronizing, but I don't want it to be some, cookie cutter type of thing, and I'm not looking to insult anybody, first of all. Not at all. It's just I have an easier time doing male roles than female roles. So I do have plans somewhat in the future of doing audios geared towards men and non-binaries, but at this time, not in the immediate future. Now, if that is something you would like to request from me, if you've got some ideas, I'm more than willing to hear them. Type them out in the chat, put them in the comments section, send me a DM on Discord or Twitter, and I will be sure to read them, and I will be sure to take them into strong consideration. Excuse me. Okay, let's see. But that does beg the question. At the end of the last episode where the therapist talked to Dante, the listener and him reconcile their differences. So I can't say for sure because I don't want to spoil anything. I've already spoiled one chapter today. I don't want to spoil another one. But that will be answered immediately within the first 3 to 5 minutes of the next chapter. So the answer to that will be fairly soon once that audio is released. Round of applause for them doing above and beyond to deliver us gold. I try, damn it. This is my job at this point, and until I'm able to find employment somewhere else where I actually get paid hourly, this is what I do full time now, so I've been making sure it counts. I've been making sure it's worth it. Take a break, you need to. This is my break. Like, legitimately, this is my break. I was working on audios earlier, but then I'm like, I haven't streamed yet. Let's do that. Let's take a little time for ourselves and just do something fun. So, yes, after the stream is over, I will actually go right back to working on audios. Vampire ASMRs, they hit different. They sure do. Is Dante secretly Mark Hoffman? No. No, he is not. Me and my sister are watching this. Maze from Lucifer. Yep. Maze from Lucifer. That is where I got that from. Because Maze was honestly my favorite character throughout seasons 1 through 3. I'm sorry, I see Sebastian and brain thinks instantly, oh, hi, Lucifer. I mean, that was kind of the point. Just that whole, oh yeah, by the way, if this guy looks devilishly familiar, there's a reason for that. And his intentions are not innocent. You need food and water, though. I do have food and water. I don't have water. I do have energy drinks. I do have Mountain Dew Energy. Sponsored, not sponsored. Mountain Dew, please. Mountain Dew, sponsor this. The only energy drink that actually has a lion on it. It's like, dude, it's there, okay? There's a lion on the can. My channel has a lion for the avatar. It's right there. Not to mention I drink this shit daily. It's my coffee. Why did you put Sebastian Michaelis in the picture as a teacher? So, when I first started making... Okay. Hope you're enjoying your break. I am enjoying my break very much, thank you. Get water, you must hydrate. I will later. Maze won't be able to just be lying down on this. She would call out the dumbasses and all that. She would. And then she would beat the shit out of them. Hydrate or dihydrate. I love that. I've never heard that before, but I love it. Okay, so Black Angel's question: why did you put Sebastian Michaelis in the picture as a teacher? So for this audio specifically, back then when I was putting these audios together on an almost weekly or bi-weekly basis, I think this was during my habit of trying to put out an audio every 2 weeks. What I ended up doing is I actually perused DeviantArt and Google Images for characters that I would use in the audios, and I would find the characters first before I even wrote the script. So back then, I would find pictures like the Sebastian that you're looking at now, and then that pretty much wrote that half of that script. So I looked at his uniform and immediately thought, okay, this is where he might get caught. I saw the expression on the character's face, and I'm like, all right, this is where his mind's at. This is his intention. And then I went from there. And I clearly don't do that now, but the reason why I did Sebastian was because I didn't have any set character that I wanted to use as the representation for Professor Cooper. When I was looking for characters to use for the videos, for the visuals, I literally just went into DeviantArt and Google and literally just typed in, anime male with black hair and glasses. Or in this case, anime male, hot, black hair, glasses. And that's pretty much what I did. And then I would cycle through all the photos, and then I would pick out whichever one I liked best. And because Google is Google, because I had the keywords in there, anime, male, black hair, hot, about 90% of the results I got was Sebastian. And so I said, okay, fine. I can't find anything else, so I'll go with Sebastian for this one. You will notice in my older videos that the character representations don't exactly stay the same. Because a lot of the characters that I use aren't actually registered or trademarked characters from actual shows or comics than arts and people's own designs. So I back then I tried to stick with a generalized description of the characters. So for Professor Cooper, it was anime male, black hair, glasses, and that was it. For Jasper, it was anime male. Actually for him, I think I actually went the ethnicity route. So I think I did anime male, Spaniard, black hair, brown hair, whatever, and red eyes. And then I just went with that for Jasper, and then so on and so forth. Now, the only character that had managed to stay the same during this Renaissance part of my channel was Atreyu, because Atreyu had an actual characterization that went with his visual, went with whatever you were seeing on the screen, i.e. him having wings and the eye patch. And so I'm like, okay, well, this kind of painted me into a corner, so I had to do more research. And when I found out that his whole visual was an actual character, I ran with that, and it was easier for me to grab the proper visuals for his videos. And then that kind of started a whole thing later on when we started with the Miguel audios, when I stuck with that character from, I think his character was from the swimming anime Free, I want to say. The Iwatobi Swim Club. Something like that. So okay, so that's pretty much what was in my head at the time. Because I wanted something that looked simple enough to read and simple enough to be used as the thumbnail as well as the video itself, but I also wanted something to kind of try and grab that attention, because again, back then, when was this uploaded? March 31st, 2019. I was still very new to YouTube. I think this was uploaded before I even had 1,000 subscribers, and I still didn't know what I was doing. I was still testing the waters with a lot of it. And back then I was grabbing a lot of inspiration from other ASMR YouTubers that I'd watched. So I'd already taken inspiration by this point from Master Missy and Fantastic ASMR and Cardlin and everybody else. But when it came to the layout, I didn't know how to do that because I noticed that everyone had their own way of formatting their videos. There were some people that had what you guys see now, where it's just the one character, the title, and then a catchy hook line in there. Some people, did full out scenes like you see in my current videos where they're fading in and out between different scenes. They're putting multiple characters in the frame, and it basically becomes like a big RPG type setup. And then you've got other people where they had fully drawn graphics, they had fully drawn designs, and it was designed specifically for their channel. You couldn't find it anywhere else. And so I didn't know how to format my videos at the time. And so I went at the time with the easiest way that I could, where I took inspiration from Easton and Emery ASMR, where they do the exact same thing, and they still do it today, where they have 1 or 2 character drawings in the background. It's a solid color background. They have the title of the audio, and then they have a hook line there. So what I mean by the hook line is and I'm pointing at my screen like you can see me. But the hook line is basically where you see this, where it says, "Not this time, honey, this time it will be you in handcuffs." This is what I mean by the hook line. So you read this and you immediately get a feel for what the video might be about. And I did that for the longest time. And I know I kind of went off on a tangent here, but there's a point to this. So Sebastian Michaelis isn't necessarily supposed to be the representation for Professor Cooper. At the time, this was the best representation that I had, based on my experience level at this time. So, to answer your question, no, Cooper is not supposed to be specifically Sebastian Michaelis, but in glasses. The picture, like right here where you had him holding up the paper, that was the closest representation I had to what Cooper looked like in my mind. And I'm still looking for that perfect representation. And I know I kind of got off on a tangent, so let me catch up with the chat here 1 second. Like using Kaname for your vampire ASMR. I actually didn't use Kaname for my vampire ASMR. The only one that I used Kaname for was the actual roleplay that I was Kaname for that. And I only did that once. And that was more of a experimental kind of thing. And yeah, Anime Weeb, if you have a question, if any of you have a question, type it in chat and I will get to it. But as you notice, I tend to go on tangents and then I have to catch myself up. Let me see. Is Dante supposed to look like Sebastian? No. All right, Black Angel. Well, thank you so much. Black Angel, if you're still here, thank you very much for joining us. Hopefully we will see you again tomorrow. We might do this kind of thing again tomorrow. We still have a lot of videos to get through. So, I hope you enjoy the rest of your day or night, whatever time it is for you, wherever you are. And, we will see you tomorrow, hopefully. Let's see. Hook lines make me scream with excitement. I know, right? That's how I got hooked on it, too. How did you make your voice deep for Dante? So, there is a trick that I use for basically all of my characters where I alter my voice a little bit, using a special software in Audacity. And I'm not going to show you guys, mainly because Audacity has been a bit of a pain in the ass, and I don't feel like experimenting with it on stream right now because I don't want to risk the stream health to dip for no reason. But to get my voice a special kind of deep, that way I don't have to do much in the way of editing, is I will try and I'll try and do my male voice Excuse me, hold on. So this right here is actually, what you guys are hearing right now is supposed to be my male voice. This is the deepest I can really go without straining my throat. I could go deeper, but again, don't want to strain the throat, because if I try and go deeper than this, I don't last very long, and if I irritate my throat too much, then it gets really annoying, because then I go into a coughing fit. And it's just not fun. So what I do once I hit the level that I want to be at, so where I'm at right now, and honestly in my head right now I'm at the same pitch as the audio, but I know I'm not. So sometimes what I'll do is I'll take 2 fingers and I'll press it at the base of my throat right underneath my voice box, and I'll press in just a little bit, not choking myself, no, but just enough to strain the vocal cords a little bit, kind of like what you're hearing now. And then sometimes what I'll do is I'll push down, that way my vocal cords go a bit deeper. And yes, this is a little bit uncomfortable, but it is worth it. So as you guys can see, I've gotten a little bit quieter, I've gotten a little bit softer, but overall my voice has gotten, you know, a note or 2 deeper. So this is basically how I will record audios and videos with just a little bit of help from a software. And and to show you guys that there is a difference, I'm going to remove my fingers from my throat, and now I'm back to normal. So you can hear the difference. You should be able to anyway. And now we're back to normal voice. So let's see. Are you coming out with any more Atreyu ASMRs? Okay, yes, I am. Anime Weeb, I am coming out with more. I'm currently working on one. It is in pre-production at this time. Could I draw concept art of different characters? Of course! Of course, local cat boy. Feel free. I'm not gonna tell you no. Do whatever you want, honey. Does Foxman have only 1 pair of ears? I want to draw him with hoop earrings. He does only have the 1 pair of ears. He just has the 1 pair of fox ears. I hate using Audacity because there's such a learning curve. There is a bit of a learning curve with Audacity. And honestly, that learning curve you see throughout the history of the channel. Because you definitely notice a quality difference between video to video. And honestly, when I first started my channel, a lot of the videos I did were literally just like, hey guys, I want to try this out and see if it works. I'm gonna have to leave soon because it's 3:34 and have college today, so sorry. Sebastian, buddy, go to sleep. You need your rest, dude. We understand. I will try and stream earlier tomorrow. That way everyone's able to be here without having to lose valuable sleep. ASMRs that made me more attracted to voices than looks. Right? That's pretty much me. That's how me and Miguel met. Like, the minute I heard him talk, I was like, oh, you're hot. That's pretty much my introduction to him. When he and I first met, is just I heard his deep voice and I'm like, oh, you're hot. But you haven't even seen what I don't care what you look like, boy. I like your voice. If I could bang your voice, I would. Anyway. I completely forgot to ask in the other streams, how's your leg doing? Leg is doing good. Thank you for asking. As I look at all the other Yandere ASMRs and go, yep, totally don't have a problem. Yeah, totally. No problem here whatsoever. My voice could never, I would be chugging water after. I used Audacity, my internship, and it was fine for me. I mean, Audacity is okay. It's good for what it needs to be used for. It's just, it does have a bit of a learning curve when it comes to using it. It does have a lot of key features, especially just for the free version. And yes, Audacity does have a subscription version, and I have no idea why. But just the free version of Audacity has a lot going into it, and it has a lot of features to offer, but they don't exactly teach you how to use it. It's kind of one of those either teach yourself or look up tutorials on your tutorials on YouTube. Okay. Are you Anime Weeb? Yes, I am coming out with more Atreyu videos. They're just in pre-production right now, so there's no telling. As of right now, I don't have a good to be release date. But they are in production. How long have you and your BF been together? We've been together for about 3 years now. Yeah, we've been together for about 3 years, and we actually met over my audios, come to think of it. Because we met after I started my channel, and then he and I met through a mutual friend, actually, now that I think about it. Red Robins, yum. Alright, so we got off on a huge tangent there. Let's keep going.
But I need to take you back to his place so I can get an accurate depiction of what happened. It will give me an accurate account of what happened there, and it will give me a chance to look for evidence before forensics has a chance to get to it. We need everything we have to make this guy stay in jail, which means we need every detail possible. I know it sounds strange, but I promise you, it might help put this guy behind bars for the rest of his life.
I was actually kind of lazy in this one, because no sound effect for getting out of the car, just immediately.
It's okay, miss. He's with the other officers far away from here. You're perfectly safe.
How long has Dante been working with a psychiatrist? That will be revealed in the next chapter.
What all did he do to you in here?
And this part was more to try and emulate. This was more try to give the subtle hint that he's actually a complete psychopath, because we all know that this is Dante, but the fact that he brought her back to the house under the guise of being a police officer and telling her, like, oh no, I got to take you back to the scene of the crime because I got to get an accurate depiction of what he did. First of all, no police officer ever does that. And he needed validation that whatever she was going to tell the officers, he needed to know what she was going to say. That way he knew how to counter that. And he needed to see if the listener would lie for him. He needed to see if the listener was going to downplay everything and be like, no, it's fine, I overreacted, or if she would actually tell the stone cold truth. Because then that would, depending on what she said, would decipher what his punishment for her would be.
I'm so sorry. You say he almost had his way with you. Where, may I ask, did that happen? Upstairs? Where upstairs? Show me. In here? Show me exactly what you did when you came up here.
Again, no officer is ever going to ask you to do this. They'll ask you questions about it at the station, but they're not going to ask you to relive it. And this is why.
Interesting. I don't recall ever trying to have my way with you at all, actually. Surprise, baby doll.
J'accuse!
Oh, no, you don't. Not this time, honey. This time, it will be you in handcuffs. Which, now that I see you, handcuffed and at my mercy, I rather like it. I must admit, it really turns me on. Darling, if I have to keep my hand over this mouth for the rest of the night, dangerous situation. And yet you still fight me this way.
Okay, we're starting to get to the juicier things. So that audio stood the test of time, honestly. So far, anyway. Where am I going? I don't know. I forgot. So, yeah, I think... Let me see. In terms of actually layering sound effects... So, from this video to the very first one, so from Vampire Boyfriend Update to back here... This was the period of hardly any editing, minor sound effects, not knowing what I'm doing, and then, experimenting a little bit better with layering the sound effects and production and everything else. And then you go further down here, same thing, learning more and more tricks, making everything sound a lot better. And then honestly, the best audio, let me see. So then right about here. So this is what I would consider phase 2 of my learning curve. So between Siren's Curse, Avalon's Island, and Trouble in Paradise, you've got pretty much the same kind of production values. So again, you've got that one character in the foreground, title of the audio, and then the hook line as the main visual, but you did have a bit of a production value because there were scenes that would fade in and out, or there were actual rolling credits or something of the sort that made it more appealing to watch and more appealing to look at. And honestly, I think the best one out of this era would probably be this one. Me personally, anyway. This one, though. This one, the Big Brother Best Friends, this one will always have a special place in my heart because I was going through a really rough time back then, and Ashton and Doll really helped me throughout that. And I actually frequently come back to this audio just in case I need a little pick-me-up from some of my friends. And then we get over here where we come to our mid-ground between learning new tricks, getting access to more sound effects, experimenting more with the language barrier and After Effects, making everything look a lot more polished, sound a lot more polished. So between Finally in My Arms and I want to say to about this one, the anniversary video. So between here and the first Miguel video, you've got about phase 3. There's actually not that many videos in this one, to be honest, because there's a few streams mixed in here, and then you've got my very first title card, which I never actually used. So the production value here has gotten a lot better, like I said. It's still kind of the same like my older videos, because you still have that same kind of layout, but it's looking a bit more polished and professional and a little bit nicer to look at. It doesn't look quite as, oh, I put this together in 3 minutes. I also did a lot more scenes in these videos. Like I learned how to go into different scenarios, different scenes, different backgrounds, different title cards, things of that nature. And then you go into the current state of affairs right now of the demon boyfriend, Draconia Mortis, all the way down to where we're currently at, which ended with the Miguel audio, Miguel's Lust. So this is where I kind of took a huge turn in terms of production value, where I didn't focus solely on keeping that same format anymore. It was more, I put a lot more production value into it. So I actually tried to set up the scenes. I tried to have more realistic characters at this time because for some reason my channel did blow up a little bit, but I did have a lot of contacts with some artists that saw me using their artwork in the videos, and some of them were okay with it. I did have to go in and actually link up more of their accounts into the descriptions. That way people knew exactly where the artwork came from. There were some others that didn't like the fact that I used their audio, even though I did do my research, and where I got the video from, or where I got the artwork from, I was under the impression of it was free to use, and then I would have random people message me and be like, no, that's not theirs, that's mine, and you don't have permission, and yada yada. So at the time, because I didn't feel like dealing with that, I decided to move more towards realistic people, realistic characters. That's why you see me use Kellen Lutz, aka Emmett from Twilight, as the representation for Jasper. I started using these two for Yandere Professor, and I started using Ian Somerhalder for Daniel at the time, and it just went on from there. I'm not really using that much anymore, mainly because editing real people's photos is a pain in the ass, because there's a lot of erasing and a lot of just editing you have to do to make it match. So now it's gotten to the point where I do all of my research first before I start working on shit. A good example of one audio series that needed to be fixed was Valentine. So for that, the one that I used, the thumbnail that I used for Valentine's first video, this one, once it pulls up, there we go. Okay, so this visual right here for Valentine, the very first Slithering Seduction, I actually had written permission from the artist on DeviantArt to use this. And I actually contacted her and I asked, can I use this for the visual? And she said, yeah, sure, no problem. Just be sure to credit and yada yada, which is what I did. Art by Lydia Ash, and then the character was owned by Nekobat. And I contacted Nekobat and I asked her, hey, do you mind if I use your character for this audio series? You know, I'm not giving a voice to your character, he's just the representation. And again, they said not a problem. The visual that I used for the original second video for Slithering Seduction Valentine's Dawn, that was up for over a year. But then the artist came to me in a DM and said, hey, by the way, I was made aware that you're using my character and I don't appreciate it because my character is supposed to be gay. And he has an entire storyline, and I don't want people associating my character with your audio. Can you please remove it? At the time, I was already going through a huge move. And so I messaged her and said, hey, I'm more than willing to do that, but give me time because I don't have all my stuff. She said, not a problem. Just fix it whenever you can. Then I had someone come up to me on her behalf, starting to demand that I remove the video altogether because that representation was still up. And I said, I've already talked to the original artist. She said, I can take my time. It's fine. I don't have my stuff right now. I'm trying everything I can to make it work. And I'd originally asked her if I could keep the audio up. If I could keep the video up, just put it in the description of, hey, I've been asked to remove this by request of the artist, but, yada yada, let me fix the visual and we'll get started. Because at that time, the audio itself had already garnered almost 30,000 views. And she didn't want me to lose that. So we made a deal, but the second person that came up on her behalf was just starting to mess everything up. And honestly started to be a little bit of a Karen. Because then she said, well, until you take it down, I'm going to mass report your channel. I'm going to mass report this video until YouTube takes it down for me, and yada, yada, yada. So then that's what started the thing of, hey guys, by the way, I'm going to re-release this series because I need new visuals. So that's why when you look at the videos from almost a year ago back then, or last year, when I said, hey, we're going to do a big old thing for Slithering Seduction, and I did all 3 of these in the same time frame, that was the reason why. Because I needed to do a new visual representation for Valentine, which is what brought me up to editing this thing. Now, this one was actually made with permission from everybody involved. This one was made using a cobra snake as the actual, labia snake body. And I actually had written permission from the original artist on DeviantArt to use this. And for the record, the original color of this was not red. The original color of this was purple. And so I actually asked him, can I edit this into red? And they said, sure, do whatever you want. Just don't claim it as your own, and you can do whatever the hell you want with it. And then same thing went for the artist that did this anime male. Now, I know this is Subaru from Diabolic Lover. I know. And a lot of people already told me, hey, be careful using Diabolic Lover characters because they tend to flag videos if they catch people using their shit. I know. But the person that actually drew this doesn't work for Diabolic Lovers. They did this as a fan art, so they can't flag fan art. And I also did get permission from the person that drew this, and they said, yeah, that's perfectly fine. I don't care. It's a drawing online. What am I going to do? So that is the reason why. And I know I kind of got off on another tangent. Holy shit. But that's what brings us to here, where you see the evolution of the channel, where it goes from not really knowing what I'm doing to, hey, a little bit more experience, to, hey, more experience, and then, oh my god, are these audios or are these trying to be movies? What the fuck? So, and, yeah, the one that I think was a bit of a passion project was At Death's Door, the first angel. I know I haven't done a second video to this, and I'm still not sure if I will, only because, not that much traffic into it. I might do a second chapter for just myself, honestly.
Some dessert?
But this was more trying to start something that I actually saw in a dream once, and it was a random ass joke about the angel of death pretending to be a human that works in the life insurance world. So it's literally it was supposed to be a joke about the angel of death selling life insurance, because it's life insurance and people are going to die, and they're going to die because he collects their souls. So not only is he collecting souls, but he's collecting your money. And then obviously using Viktor Nikiforov from, oh fuck. I had the anime. Yuri on Ice. There it is. Because he honestly fit exactly what was in the dream. It was a short, white-haired male with mint green eyes and just looked superhuman, but at the same time could pass for human for those of us that don't pay the fuck attention. And it was really just trying to experiment more with not religious matters, but my own experiences in religion and poking fun at my own religious beliefs and religious experiences. And then when you get down here, this was more an homage. Sorry, I can't speak right now. This part was more an homage to my love for Evangelion. I've always wanted to include Neon Genesis Evangelion into my audios, but I never knew how to do it. And so this was my bullshit excuse of how to do that. Because I'm like, okay, the main guy already has gray white hair, and my favorite character from Neon Genesis has gray and white hair, so we're gonna make this work somehow. And then I thought about it and I'm like, wait a minute, this actually works because the plug suits, aka what you see Kaoru wearing right here, is technically from another world, and angels in this universe aren't supposed to be from this world. And honestly, before I was even into it, I always pictured angels in this universe to be kind of like Thor and Loki from Asgard and Marvel. Just like, they're from a whole other world outside of space and time. They wear weird ass fucking clothes. You know, they speak in a different tone, and they don't have the same opinions on humans as other people do. And, you know, it snowballed from that, basically. And then keeping in with the Evangelion thing, I don't know why I decided to make fucking Asuka Langley Soryu a fucking fairy. I don't know. I think it was just this position that she was in, and I liked it, and I'm like, hey, it looks like a fairy just without wings. Let's put wings on her. It works. I don't know. But the channel went through a weird freaking it went through a weird phase. Because honestly, after this one, it started to really snowball because I had just broken up with my ex. I was trying to escape. I was trying to get away from him. I was getting out of where we were. I was getting out of where I was. I was moving back in with my parents in the Virgin Islands. And I was just overwhelmed with several different emotions and several different thoughts that I couldn't categorize any of it. So this was the last one I did before I moved. And then from Elias Encounters all the way to, where was it? To this one, Riley Came to Visit. All of these were when I was in the Virgin Islands, when I was trying to re-find myself, when I was trying to figure out what direction I wanted to go in, and just refiguring everything out. And this was literally my therapy, a form of therapy I had for trying to work through my own shit. And I realized that everything kind of took a weird turn, not only right now going on this tangent, but everything kind of took a weird turn audio-wise as far as everybody's stories go. And I've been trying like hell to try and fix all of it. Because I know there's some storylines, especially in Draconia Mortis and Fox and the Hound specifically, that their stories not only take a huge ass turn, but they contradict themselves on a few points. So I've been having to go back and rewrite some things and be like, okay, how can I explain this away to where it makes sense? Because I am a stickler for getting a story just right. And if something doesn't make sense, then I will do my best to make it make sense. Even if it doesn't make sense at all in any way, shape, or form, I will try and make it work. I will actually do that to stories that I enjoy reading. Like if I read a book and I notice a huge fucking plot hole, or I see something that doesn't line up correctly, or it's one of those stories that recounts what happened earlier in the story and it doesn't get anything exactly right, I will write pages and pages and pages of fan fiction just to make that shit work. Chronologically, timeline-wise, something to make it make sense. The only story that I really don't have to worry about that is Angel Brother. That's the only thing I don't have to worry about making things make sense, because it's literally just my own therapy. It's literally just my own self-therapy of dealing with the grief of my brother. So the only thing going through my head when I make these is, how would my brother react if he found out I was going through the shit that I'm going through? What is the thing that I really want to hear from my brother right now? Or, on the other side of the coin, what do I believe he would say in this situation? And then it just goes off from there. And then, of course, you know, I tried my hand at making a short, and it...
Sam, have you seen my mom? She took the iPad, and I really want to watch Frozen.
God
Can
damn.
you help me find her?
Oh my god.
Please. Please.
He didn't care.
All day.
Sam didn't fucking care. Sam didn't even... my cat puts up through so much shit. He doesn't know. Oh my god. Ugh. And the crappy part is I still get bouts where I go into my Riley voice and it just sticks. I still remember going through 3 days worth of work and my voice was just like Riley, just like... It wasn't easy going through work and just being like, "Hi, can I take your order?" I still wish I could send this to Chris and be like, "Hi, do you think we could probably do a collab on an audio at some point? Please." I'll babysit Karen. I don't care. Just tell her, yeah, no, I'll babysit your characters, just please. I would actually be that stupid. Like if I could see Chris in real life, I would actually walk up to her and go, "Hi. I'm looking for my mom. I think she went..." Oh wait, what was her character's name? I can't remember. What was her name? Oh shit. This is gonna bug me now. Who was the oh god. What was the name of Call Me Chris's Russian character? Misha, Sergey, and... Oh god. BS your way into the truth. Yeah, pretty much. What was her Russian... Katrina. That's what it was. Katrina. I would love... if I would be that kind of stupid, though, if I went up to if I saw Call Me Chris just on the street or whatever, I would literally walk up to her and go, "Hi. I bring you spicy juice for Katrina. And I also brought a new ball for the boys to play roulette." I think my favorite line of hers that I continually just repeat to myself is, "Are you my new dad?" "No, just friends, but I'll make you some brekkie." "Okay." Nah, see the spawn of Satan meeting's just down the street. You're gonna go down, you're gonna take a left, you're gonna see a cliff, you're gonna jump off. I'm here because my son Hunter wants to have a play date with Riley? Yeah. You know it's not too late to change your name. All right. Riley, your friend's here. Go and play. Oh my god, Hunter! What? Riley. Isn't he pretty? Hunter, you have makeup on your face. Oh, really, you think? Sarcasm. Misha, Sergey, what is with this meaningless screaming? I see no blood. I don't know why we don't hang out more. This is nice. Duh. You want a swig? It's not juicy, is it? Spicy juice. Yeah, your breath smells flammable. At least the boys are having fun. Okay, we're going to play a game called roulette. Alright. We're down to play, but you haven't even heard terms. Our uncle always says try things at least once. Unless it's tax fraud. Just tax fraud? Yeah, it's what he's in jail for. Okay, so rules are simple. I throw a ball in air and last person to move wins. Alright. And go. Oh, look, they're playing catch. That looks fun. Looks like more like roulette. Looks like roulette. What? Boom. Oh my god, buddy. Are you okay? Yeah, I win. Duh. And you have our respect. And possibly a mild concussion. I've actually been tempted to do a Call Me Chris roleplay, but I don't want to be creepy. Because I know that she probably gets a lot of people that are like that, and I don't want to make it seem like, oh, I can do you better than you. It would just be a fun thing, and just be like, dude, this is why I love this person. This is why I'm a fan. Wonderful fluster-inducing voices. I've actually been tempted to do a Russian voice, but due to the current state of things, what with Russia being at war with another country, I have chosen not to, because I don't want to be confused with being on the wrong side. But you know, doing voices like this, it actually helps when I actually have friends that are from these countries. So I'm able to practice. Although I don't know if this is more Russian or if this kinda sounds like I'm fucking Dracula from Transylvania. Welcome to Hotel Transylvania! I don't say blah blah blah. Sometimes you say it. I only say it when I say I don't say it! See, I never watched Well, no, I take that back. I didn't really get into Castlevania. I watched the first 3 episodes that went up on Netflix, but I never got notified when they uploaded more episodes, so I just let it be, and I never picked it up again. I need to watch the 4th one, though. The 4th one, I will admit, wasn't that bad. being in Hotel Transylvania. Transylvania 3, I probably could have done without. Because honestly, it was iffy. I'm just gonna say that. But the fourth movie does make up for it, although I was a little disappointed in the fact that Adam Sandler didn't return to be Dracula. I know it's because of contracts and everything. I did like that they brought in Brian Hull, though, to do Dracula, because, excuse me, if I wasn't such a huge Adam Sandler fan, I probably wouldn't even seen the difference. Because Brian Hull is an excellent voice actor. Oh no, I got the hiccups. It contradicted everything previously stated about the zing. I mean, I don't know if it did. Cause they stayed with each other and they let the zing they let it guide them in a way. That's why you always saw his eyes glowing and shit, but I don't know. It was definitely predictable. What with the current theme of, monsters being reintroduced to humans, humans being reintroduced to monsters. I kind of saw it coming with him finding a human wife. But at the same time, I feel like it could have been done better, especially since they kind of overdid it with the connection of Dracula and Van Helsing. I know that's a really popular story in the Dracula world, but just why? Why did you have to make that connection? Why did you have to make that a thing? Why couldn't you be original with it? No spoilers, please. I'm not going to spoil the fourth one for you. Well, I mean, here's the thing, though, is that they never actually specifically... I mean, they say... In the first movie, he does say that Martha, his first love, was his zing, but I don't think that the zing was reciprocated. And here's the reason why. Is because when... In the first movie, the postcard from Hawaii was a major plot device. I don't think that Martha actually zinged for him. So I do believe that, you only zing once, but I think that there's a second caveat to that that's hidden, where it says you only zing once, where it's reciprocated. So when he zinged for Van Helsing, Mrs. Van Helsing, I can't remember her name. I think it was like Diane or something. The zing was actually reciprocated. But we're getting off track here. How long have we been streaming? Hold up. Oh, Jesus Christ, we've been streaming for 2.5 hours. Okay. So... I would love to keep going, you guys, but I have been streaming for 2.5 hours, and I actually need to get back to working on these audios so I can get them out to you guys in a timely fashion. And remember, from earlier in the stream, whatever is said in the stream stays in the stream. But thank you guys so much for joining me. This was actually a whole lot of fun. And I will be back next week. Or not next week. Wow. I will be back tomorrow. And we might do more video reactions. I know there's a lot of videos we didn't get to. But hopefully we can get to more videos tomorrow. Otherwise, I will figure out something else for us to do. If you guys have any suggestions of a stream that you would like covered, of anything you want to be done during the stream, please feel free and let me know in the comment section, or feel free to DM me on Discord or Twitter. Both links will be down in the description. And with that, I will see you guys tomorrow. Thank you so much for joining me, and you guys have a lovely day, lovely evening, lovely night, lovely morning, whatever time frame it is for you. And I will see you guys tomorrow.